Yo, wake up to Rodney. So, Monday morning, it's dark, it's depressing. It's standstill on the motorway. Someone's had a crash, unfortunately. Someone's day isn't going to be the same as everybody else's day. So just look at it like that. You know, still going to get where I need to be on time. That's why I always leave an hour earlier than I need to leave. And, you know, it's how you approach a situation. It's how you, if it takes an hour to get somewhere and you leave less than an hour to get there, and then you're rushing, straight away, you're already at a state of anxiety. Whereas to reduce your anxiety, just leave the day before, stay the night in a hotel, whatever it is. Make sure that if it's important to you, yeah, that you put the effort in. And this is what I don't understand about people who are prone to stress and depression, why they don't put any things in place in order to minimize their stress and depression. Now, my anxiety comes from two things: needing the toilet, yeah, and parking. So I know I'm gonna get parking where I'm going, so I'm all right. At the moment, my brain's like ticking a little bit because of this traffic, but because it's only for a certain length of time, I believe I'm gonna, I believe I'm still gonna, that anxiety won't appear because of how far we've got to go. Now, what does really send me over or make me have to put in inhibitor chips, yeah, in order to not lose my temper, is when people lie. Now, we've talked about this before. People lie for all kinds of reasons. Mainly, people lie to defend themselves. Mainly, people lie to hide the fact that they've done something and still want you to like them. So they'll tell you some little white lie of some description. And what happens is they then start to believe that white lie because they've told it. And if they tell it enough times, it becomes a reality. And that is the problem with when you don't act on something immediately. You see me, I act immediately. Yeah, you've upset me, I tell you straight away, because then we can squash it and then get on. Whereas I know that some people build on it, then react massively when they've got no other choice but to react. And those are the type of people you can't trust. And they can be anybody. They can be parents, they can be brothers, they can be sisters, they can be colleagues at work. Whenever I am faced with somebody like that, yeah, I try to distance myself. Now, I'll give you another example. So, there's this lady, poor lady, she's having a bad time with her boyfriend, bad time. So she finishes with him, but she still loves him. So she still talks to him every day and still all of that. And I'm like, well, what was the point of finishing with him if you're going to talk to him every day? Oh, because I still love him. I says, no, but there was no point finishing with him then, was there? Yeah. And what's happening is I can no longer speak to this person. Smile and wave, but I can no longer speak to this person. Doesn't matter how good they are at the job. Doesn't matter that they're a nice person. The way that they deal with something, yeah, is so irregular. I can't be around them because it makes no sense. If you've made the decision to finish with somebody, you block them, you turn off your phone, or turn off any kind of contacts, unblock social media, block them on social media, go from, well, you don't have to go from together to single, but at least show that there's some differentiation between the two of you. And the reason why I say that is because if you're going to finish with someone, or don't finish with someone, don't do stupid things like, it's so childish. Women and men in their 40s taking a break. What's that? Take a break? Never heard such ridiculousness in my life. Taking a break. It's either we're together and we're working on it, or we're not together and we're finished. Go away, do your thing. If you live together, go and stay at your nan's, go and stay at your parents, go and stay at your brothers and sisters, move out, live in a hotel, live in an Airbnb, whatever. Yeah. And if you're still together, as in no one said, right, it's over. If you're still together, then you can work on it. Mediation, therapy, start dating again, all them types of things. I've never heard such ridiculousness as, oh, we're finished, but I'm still going to talk to you because I still love you. And when there's no children involved. I don't get it. I don't get it. But my point is, those people are toxic. And the reason why those people are toxic isn't because they're not nice people. They're probably lovely people. Is because they cannot make a decision. They cannot make a decision. So therefore, when it comes down to it, yeah, and this brings me on to my second point. So, when I've shouted at someone, they've said, oh, your true colours have come out now. And I'm like, well, no, they haven't. It's just that I've showed you, you normally see one side of my personality. Now that you've absolutely chuffed me off, yeah, you can now see the other side of my personality. That side of my personality was always there, but it's just this mechanism that people create in order to make believe that you fit their scenario. And it's like I said to someone the other day, right? In any one relationship, there's always one with more control. Always one. In certain situations, not all situations, there's always one party that has more control. Now, that party that has more control, yeah, generally will exercise that ability to show their control. And they do that in various ways. Not always good, but they do that in various ways. One of the ways that they do is they weaponize the children, for example. So they start, especially if it's the mom, they will say negative things about the dad, or insinuate negative things about your time with the dad, so that when time with the dad occurs, yeah, the child is in almost a negative state of mind. That happens regularly and often. Is it good? Absolutely not. But it happens. Now, here's the thing that I'm trying to say to you. Once you've recognised that the party's using coercive control, what do you do? What do you do? Do you face it head on? Do you talk about it? Do you ignore it? And 9 times out of 10, if you're the controlled party, you just go along with it. Why? Because it's easier. And most people do the easier thing than the right thing. They do the easier thing first, other than the right thing to do. That's where problems start to occur. That's where it becomes dangerous. Because you're hiding, you're using all of those things that you shouldn't do. You're hiding, you're lying, you're miscreant. Can't think of the word. You're not being. That's when you're not showing your true self, and you're doing all these tactics in order. That's what you believe is a coping mechanism, instead of come out and say. Yeah, come out and say straight away. The one time I felt someone was being negative towards me in a negative way, I confronted them immediately. I didn't wait. I didn't tell any tales. I didn't, whatever else. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I'm right, because I don't kiss ass. And because I don't kiss ass, people who like their ass being kissed, yeah, immediately don't like me, because confidence is bad to kiss asses. People who like their ass being kissed. They don't like confident people. Unless your confidence is there to do a job, whatever that job is. If it's not, say for example, you work in an office, right? So when I worked for the government, right? I was as confident as I am now, which led me to success, which meant that I was the best at what I did, which meant that I had the best figures, which meant that I achieved more as a business consultant than anybody else. Now I upset the apple cart. So now they didn't want me to be confident. So now they wanted to put me into a box. They wanted to bring me down. They wanted to clip my wings, as could be said. They wanted to clip my wings. Now, think of it like this. If two people doing the same job, one person's confident, one person can communicate with people, one person wants to get results, one person gets the job done, one person's got contacts in order to get the job done, the other person hasn't. One person gets 10 people a successful outcome, while the other person gets one. What does this person do now who's not as successful as the other person? Do they learn? Do they learn from them? Do they try and do what they do? Do they take themselves out of their comfort zone? No. What they do, try and bring you down. Try and bring you down to their level. Crabs in a barrel. Yep. Crabs in a barrel, and that's what they do. And the thing is, there's more of these people, the people who aren't good at the job without confidence, yeah, who go to the toilet for an hour, who are overweight, who do anything to do the most minimum part of the job but get the maximum amount, be the first in line when it comes to whinging about taking on extra workload or anything like that. So these type of people, yeah, there's more of them than there is people like me. So sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. You have to hit rock bottom in order to understand your true calling, your true potential, your true understanding of the world. So something's happened to me recently where I literally was at rock bottom. I had nothing, no work, no nothing. So it says, right, I'm going into my photography. Look at that. Yeah, I'm understanding what my photography means to me. I've wanted to be a photographer since I was 14 years old. Or anyone that knows me have seen all my cameras, have seen all my photographs, they've seen what I've done in the past. Yeah, so they know that photography is a huge part of my life. Yeah, and all I was doing photography as a hobby. Whereas now, I'm starting to use photography as a business. And as a result, I've had some success. I'm getting some success. I'm getting somewhere. I'm achieving something. I'm making something work. But I had to hit rock bottom for me to make that decision. Otherwise, I would always have had that trying to make this work, oh my gosh, so rubbish. I've been watching all these Steve Jobs videos. Yeah, I'm not clever enough to invent a computer or an iPod or an iPad. Although that's what my dad wanted me to do in the 80s. My dad used to buy me computers in the hope that I would become a computer programmer. Never quite happened. Just wasn't me. Love media though. So media is my thing. So, it's interesting, isn't it? And listen, if you've got your own story, reach out. If you've hit rock bottom and had to reshape, it's interesting. I'm going to have a conversation later, or I'll receive an email later and I'll respond to that email. And in that response to that email, I'm going to say, listen, you might be happy being lied to, but I'm not. Because I hear lies, I see them, I hear them, I understand them. Yeah, it make lies that you know, you can see these lies a mile off. You can cut through them, they're that thick. Yeah, but like, you have to realize to yourself what lies mean and what lies are. That's a whole nother story. Listen, I'm trying to leave it on a positive, even though I've sat for half an hour in this standstill traffic, just like tiptoeing forward. And we're going to get there and it's going to be someone's like hit the central reservation or something. Oh dear. Listen, like and subscribe. In a bit. See you later. Bye.